What's up, guys? Thanks for joining an Age of Empires casted replay. Today we're going to have myself, the blue player, playing as the Japanese, one of the new DLC civilizations, and my opponent in the purple, Gree Varan, playing as the Holy Roman Empire. Now, I think we all know quite a bit about the Holy Roman Empire. They've been there from the beginning. So we're going to talk about some of the upgrades and some of the stuff for the Japanese. Now, the first upgrade I got there, I have it sped up a little bit just to get past some of the beginning, building up the economies, getting to Age 2 stuff. We're just scouting around with both our scouts, of course, looking for sheep and whatnot. But for the Japanese, their farmhouses actually act as a mill, and the first upgrade we get was called Tarawa, which actually increases my villagers' gather rate from berries, and their carry capacity, and their speed. So a nice little upgrade, and it upgrades each time, for the first 3 ages, so I can get it up to 3 times. So in Age 2, I'll be able to get the next one, which is called Takazaiku, I'm going to say. Yeah, so pretty nice economic upgrades for the Japanese. My forge here, acting as my mine, instead of building one here, I can build a forge, which actually acts as a blacksmith as well. And it has the unique upgrade to Tara, which increases the melee damage of all non-siege units by 1. My opponent here just kind of YOLOing through my base with a scout, getting that taken out. That was a nice little grab to limit his vision and sheep gathering, so I'm going to call that a little micro win there at the start. And for the Japanese, we also have, so yeah, that was the upgrade for all melee units or non-siege units by 1, which is nice, unique to Japanese, on top of all the regular upgrades they have. They get this each age, kind of like the economic one, so they both kind of go hand in hand, but I would always prioritize getting the damage one first and then the economic one early on when gold might be tight. We throw down the first of 2 landmarks, the Kura Storehouse. This is another economic landmark, which once it's finished, it will spawn a farm around it until it's full all the way around. And so it basically gives me 12 free farms that I can put villagers on, which is really, really nice, especially early. It will save me a lot of wood, which I'll need for other things, building all these farms. And also unique to the Japanese, they have an upgrade for their town center. You can get this right away in the Dark Age. Daimyo Manor. This is the first of 3 upgrades. It costs 300 stone. It increases your cap on bannermen, which we'll talk about in a minute, and provides 1 free villager. Increases the health of my town center by 1,000 on the first upgrade. Adds an additional arrow slit. Adds an aura, which enhances the villager's harvest rate all around the town center, which would include these farms and whatever other resource we have around it. So it would be kind of like an Aachen Chapel, actually, that the HRE has. Sort of the same idea there. My opponent builds another scout here, comes in to have a look. Gets a little slap down on a couple of my villagers, but you don't ever have to worry about a scout if it comes to attacks your villagers. Don't let the little alarm bells panic you. So anyway, that's kind of the standard open for the Japanese I was going for. We're throwing down a barracks now. In Age 2, we will have access to Samurai, which is another unique unit to the Japanese. And we'll talk about them in just a minute. But early on, while my storehouse was being finished, I got 3 onto stone. I'm just going to leave them there because they'll provide the stone I need for a second town center later on and my Daimyo Manor upgrade, which is very important. For my opponent, let's talk about a little bit what he's doing. He's actually going for the Minework Palace, not the Aachen Chapel. So he won't be getting that aura, but he does have these prelates already out here, which are providing the aura that the Aachen Chapel would too. It's just, if these guys die or move around, they won't be able to provide it anymore. So instead he went with the Minework Palace for his Age 2 landmark. This will provide him with a couple unique upgrades, and all his upgrades will be cheaper here than they would be at a regular blacksmith. So for unique upgrades, they have marching drills. This is for the Holy Roman Empire. Increases the movement speed of infantry and religious units by 10%, which is really nice for catching like archers or ranged units that you're trying to get to, and just catching anything that you're after or getting away. They also have riveted chainmail. Increase the melee armor of spearmen and horsemen by 2. That's really nice, actually, unique to the Holy Roman Empire. a pretty good one to go for, especially say you were going against the French and you knew that they were going to be opening with heavy cavalry. Getting a bunch of spearmen with this upgrade and even some horsemen to help support, that would be a really nice upgrade for you. And here we have a Regnitz Cathedral going down. Now, this is a very greedy opener. Instead of age 2 going for a bunch of man-at-arms, which they usually do, he's going straight into the Castle Age. And I did not scout this right away, so I wasn't quite sure what he was up to. Back on my end, I actually start building some samurai, which is basically my man-at-arms, age 2. Samurai here, heavy melee infantry, unique to Japanese. Good damage, good defense, comes with a deflective armor passive ability. So these guys, this little white bar here, you see on the top of their health bar, this will block one attack, one arrow, one melee hit. It won't block siege, but it'll block one attack from an arrow or any kind of melee. So it's really nice when you go in, block the first attack, kind of get some free defense. So pretty strong. Not bad stats, but these are kind of like, yeah, my man-at-arms, my samurai. I also have a Katana Bannerman. This provides an aura that increases melee infantry damage by 15%. They also have the deflective armor. Bannermen are really nice. They'll provide this aura for all your infantry and give them a damage bonus. If they die, their flag will drop and stay there for maybe 15-30 seconds so you can still fight in it. So really nice to have a Bannerman when you're fighting. It really puts a good boost on your fighting units. Now I open it up bringing up a few samurai, expecting to run into some man-at-arms. It's very common for HRE players to open up with a strong age 2 man-at-arms push. But I just kind of scout in here. I see where a few of his units are. I run through his base, so I have an idea what he's doing now. So I see that he upgraded to age 3 this early, so I thought, okay, he must not have many units. I'm gonna push here and try to punish this early upgrade. And I just keep rallying more samurai up into the area, while in the background continuing to fill up these farms that are passively spawning. So we run into the first couple of man-at-arms here, just kind of seeing what's going on. He gets an early Night Out, a heavy Night Out, so, well, it's not early, it's age 3, but it is early to be an age 3. Knights will do very well against my samurai. They'll beat the crap out of them. Samurai will do good into other infantry, but not so good into knights. So we decide to retreat after losing a couple. Just leaving the scout off here, off to the side, to keep an eye on what might be coming. And with my fighters, we just run a little interference and decide to back up. We're not ready to take that fight quite yet. Not with knights involved and him having age 3 units and technology. Now, of course, the Regnitz Cathedral, you guys all probably know, these prelates will go around picking up these relics and bringing them back and placing them in here, placing 3 in. That will provide passive gold for the rest of the game for him. So very important, very core thing to do with Holy Roman Empire. So I see that he's age 3, and I decide I don't want to sit back and let him just do whatever. I'm going to have to try to keep the pressure up, even though I'm only in age 2. But I still, in the background, am constantly pumping out villagers and working on my economy. I did finish my first Daimyo Manor, so this aura here you see going all around is providing a buff to all my villagers here that are gathering. We get a second town center up beside this gold mine and these deer. So I have another town center getting ready to pump out some villagers. And wood's pretty important, so I have quite a few villagers on wood as well. Getting a few more farms and just continually rallying units out of my 4 barracks here up to the bushes where they can kind of stay hidden while we get ready for an attack. I got the battering ram upgrade at my forge, so that my units could build these battering rams. We're going to push in with these and try to take out some of his buildings. I decide to just make 2. I'm not going to wait for any more wood, and I get a bunch of spearmen because I know he has knights, and spearmen counter the knights, and a few samurai mixed in along with the bannermen, giving it all a buff. And I just know soon I have to push in here and try to punish this guy for being so greedy early and going right to age 3. So we start to move up. There's the first prelate trying to go out and get that relic, of course, but that's good. We kill him and stop him. That's worth 100 gold to him. And we see these knights and a couple man-at-arms. We'll take this fight, no problem. With all these spearmen and samurai, my bannermen, we should be able to shoot through this stuff pretty good, while putting the additional pressure on of having these rams attacking his buildings now. So he's in a bit of a pinch here. Not really prepared for this big of an attack this early. Back home, continuing to work on our economy and upgrading and pumping out more villagers while we continue to pump out more fighting army units. The Rams do a good job. They take down the first barracks pretty quickly. There's not much he can do to contest me here. I have a much bigger army than him. I'll be able to kill his units off fairly easily while destroying his buildings at the same time. Villager count quite even, but the army count is quickly slipping into my favor. He pops out of Mangonel. Might be a little too late. This would have been a good idea if he still had his original units that didn't die, and then he had this Mangonel. That would be quite a nice advantage for him. But we take out another stable, another one of his military buildings here. And we clean up whatever he has left, and there you go. He calls it GG. There wouldn't have been much he'd be able to do after this point because I would be able to threaten all of his economy. I would have found this definitely in not too long and basically just killed all his villagers so he wouldn't have been able to make anything anyway. So for being greedy, that's kind of what you get. But that's good that we were able to act decisively. And we got to have some fun on the new Japanese. So GG to my opponent, and thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys on the next one.